Yeah, well, let me do a shift test real quick.
Okay.
Make sure I didn't just bend this derailleur.
Oh, great.
Well, the derailleur hanger is bent.
How bad did you the derailleur hanger?
I just bent it in a little bit. I'm pretty sure
Why did you bend it so bad? Why do you keep bending it? You're going to break it. You can't just keep bending it, son. You might derailleur.
I gotta bend the back.
Oh. Right, I think we're gonna. I think that's it. I think it's 3 strikes and you're out.
No, let me unscrew it and just bend that.
I'm about to just call it. I'm 5 seconds away from calling it.
Give me 10.
Get off my hand!
Tomatoes. It is absolutely gorgeous right now. The sun is at my back. It feels great out here. I'm sure Wolfman's doing a great job with the shot. Wolftick Nation, we are glad you guys are here because on today's episode, we are fixing to do a little real-time review on the Rockshox RL. No, this is the Rockshox Gold 35 with 35mm stanchions, 160 millimeters of travel. We're fixing to do a real-time review on this and do a rating on this fork. Say, this fork will be in the same category as the SR Suntour Aion35 EVO that we just tested out and did a real-time review on. Will it beat it? I don't know. That fork was up there. We're going to see if this Rockshox can hang, you know what I'm saying? And we've got on Project Gummy Worm, guys. This is fixing to be a great episode. So without further ado, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you ain't a part of the Wolftick Nation, and we will see you guys on Gummy Worm. Alright guys, here we go on the Hayes Creek Run Black Diamond with the Rockshox 35 Gold Berserker. Nick, one of our patrons, sent us this fork. Right now we've got 70 PSI. We are at, I think, 4 clicks off of rebound on the slower side. So I think it's like 12 or 13, I don't know. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. Been a minute since we've been on this this bike on this trail. I rode this trail earlier and it's pretty chunky right now. Like there's a lot of rocks and just big, nasty, gnarly rocks out. So we gotta be careful. But all right, guys, let's hit this Poe Lawless Kiss Your Own. Forks fully open. So I'm talking about the chunk. All right, guys, real-time review. Remember, when we get done with this episode, we're gonna be doing a little rating system on this fork. So make sure you guys stick around. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the episode. Let's hit it. Hit it. No. Getting some air on this thing. All right, dude, this fork does so good in areas like this. Now, this is pretty cool because it's like a mixture of smalls and bigs almost. It's just super reactive to everything, or super responsive, I guess would be a better word. It sticks to the trail. I've set this fork up one time, and that was a while back. And this thing just keeps on chugging along no matter what we put it through, with the same pressure, the same settings. It's really, really a good fork, man. And you guys can check the affiliate links in the description below if you're looking for a big old beefy, nasty fork. This thing will definitely be competing with the Aion that one of our patrons sent us. All right, and that fork is actually on Project Chong, but yeah, this thing in the smalls is just super smooth. When we're doing the, on the initial impressions, when we're doing the Wolfman dyno, if you guys noticed, with this fork being in the fastest rebound state, there's still like small movement in it, which a lot of the forks just try to shoot off. Wow, the front's butter. A lot of the forks just try to kind of shoot from real fast to real soft, you know, there's not really a big in between. This one, on the other hand, is amazing with a really stiff fast rebound, it's still responsive to the smalls. And right now the front end is just freaking butter, man. Wow. The medium to the small stuff is amazing with this fork. I mean, just stuff like this, it soaks up, dude. Wow, very impressive fork. It's gonna be a shootout. Oh yeah. Ooh, a little chunky there. I know Wolfman wasn't too impressed with the amount of adjustment, which he's kind of onto something there. It doesn't really have a huge difference between real fast and real slow. I am gonna have to, he called it, Wolfman said, you're gonna have to set the rebound on this thing to the slowest and ride it like that. I might have to mess with that a little bit. I might have to go closer to what he was saying than where I thought I liked it at. But, you know, every trail's different. This one here is just super hard today, but the front end, man, is just butter. 160 millimeters of travel. We started out with the compression ring all the way down on this fork. So we're definitely going to be testing it out and seeing. Ooh, big drop. We're going to take a look at it down here, and we're going to see how much compression we're using. But this thing was actually right at 160 millimeters of travel, which is always good because, oh my gosh, this bike will get away from you so fast. Oh man, this fork and just the whole setup will. But wow, dude, that's what I'm talking about, man. This is how a bike should feel. This is how a fork should feel. And we're seeing the exact same thing with the ledge when it was installed, when the Suntour was installed on that. So holy crap. All right, so let's see what kind of damage we've done here. All right, so you guys can see that compression ring, maybe it wasn't necessarily straight. That compression ring is coming up right to about there. We've got a little bit more travel in there, so I'm thinking probably about 20 more millimeters of travel. I don't think these things bottomed out completely, so we definitely have a lot more there. Super solid performer, and it plays just so good to this bike. Super impressed with it, man. You know, something I was really curious on, a lot of the times, it sucks, but a lot of the times when you get budget forks that have the black stanchions, I am such a fan of the black stanchions. What'll happen is they'll start getting wear on the stanchions, and you can kind of see here that's not the case. We've ridden a lot on these forks, or on this fork, and in the rain, been some really nasty weather all across. And really, for these stanchions to be just as shiny as they were the day we got this thing, I mean, it kind of speaks volumes. The quality here is great. The 35 millimeter stanchions are amazing. The rebound, we are going to slow it down a couple notches. It could be slower. I forget. I mean, I think I had about 4 off of the slowest, but we went about 2 now. So there's not really a lot of adjustment there. And you know, something, I was not really a fan of these keys. Like, I wasn't a big fan of them in the beginning. I kind of like them until that thing falls off. I guess I'll be saying otherwise, but let's continue on this trail, man. This is such a fast bike. Now with that really slow rebound, I think the more travel a fork has, the slower the rebound I like. You know, you gotta think, you got 160 millimeters of travel on a fork. Yeah. You got 160 millimeter travels on the fork. You got a lot of room for that fork to kind of respond and move to. So when I'm getting air on a drop like that, I mean, it's going to take a while for that fork to decompress. Maybe if the fork had less travel, I would maybe get closer to the speeding up process. But here's a good little feature here. Oh yeah, see, like that, man. Wow, this fork just eats it up. I think we used a little bit more travel, but still not feeling it. Still not feeling it to bottom out whatsoever. Wow, those hits are just beautiful, man. They're butter on this thing, just like the Suntour. This is going to be hard. Here we go, some little medium stuff, kind of some flow here. Again, just not phasing into my big turn they redone for me a while back. Yes. Yeah. This fork is just, it responds well to everything, really, guys. It's hard to say anything negative about this fork. I mean, it was barely over 5 pounds. It's a through axle tapered, so you've got that extra beefiness there. You've got that really good, tough feeling. You know it's not a flimsy fork. You know it can be put through some abuse. And man, the 160 millimeters of travel is great. To know you've got all that. Check out the compression here, guys. We still got a pretty damn good amount to use there. We're not bottoming this fork out. That was pretty front heavy up there. And it just soaks everything up. I mean, it is very, very impressive. All right, guys, we are now here at Cedar Glades Jump Park. We told you guys we're wanting to maybe hit a little bit of bigs and see how this thing performs before we go ahead and rate it. So without further ado, let's get back here, let's warm up a little bit, and let's start hitting some of these bigs, see how the Rockshox 35 Gold finishes out.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Alright guys, well you just got done watching the real-time review of the Rockshox 35 Gold that we took to Hayes Creek Run. We took it to the jump park. We put this fork through its paces, and now it is time. So we'll, Jamie H4, one of our patrons, I hope you're happy. We are fixing to do the scoring. Now remember, this fork was right under $500, right?
Well, prices keep changing, so
prices
I'm not going to... Yeah,
what I'm saying is it's right up there.
I think it was on sale at one point cheaper, and I don't know. So it's above 400.
What I'm getting at is that it will be versus the Suntour Aion. That's what I'm excited about. Well, that's the only one.
Yeah, they can compare the specs or the outcome, the points to anything they want, but technically, price-wise, it would just compete with that.
Yeah.
And to refresh everyone's memory on the Aion, I should just go back and watch the video, but it had a 2-point penalty because I was so upset about the lockout.
You were very upset about that.
The lockout don't work.
43.
That's a lot of give. Yeah. It's not a lockout.
Yeah, Wolfman says the lockout didn't work.
It doesn't. You can say what you want, it doesn't. But the point is if you don't take the 2-point away, we'll give that score, and we'll compare that, and then we'll give the penalty score. The Rockshox 35 Gold.
Gorgeous fork. That fork is butter. It's an amazing piece of machinery.
Which goes right into the first category, which is very subjective, which all these are. Looks.
The looks department. Black on black stanch. I give it a 5.
You get a perfect 5.
I give it a perfect 5. Guys, that is such a beautiful fork. If anybody wants to comment and argue with me on that, bring it on.
It is a good looking fork. There's nothing you can really pick on the looks of that fork. It's for our taste.
Yes.
Some people could argue that they would like to see more colorful graphics or something.
I don't like a flashy fork.
I mean, there's some forks you like that are a little bit flashy too, but for that fork, I think the understated part of it is part of the beauty.
It's all ghosted in. It's a beautiful fork.
It is. The feel. Okay. Now this is the quality of the feel of the fit and finish, the way everything screws on and off, the way the dials feel, the controls, all that stuff. The quality. You give it a 4.8 out of 5.
4.8 out of 5, and I know why I didn't give it a 5. Okay, because I believe in this category. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Aion scored a perfect 5.
It did.
Okay. The reason the Rockshox did not score a perfect 5 is because that's the biggest, damn, bulkiest piece of plastic up on the top for the compression of the lockout. That is one of the just ugliest buttons, and it feels cheap because it's plastic. It's like, why did you give me a plastic knob? You should have given me an aluminum one like Suntour did.
That's you knocked it a couple, not even points, but a couple little.
Yeah, I mean, just little tiny bits of points.
And people say I'm picky about stuff.
Well, damn, it's like it's an expensive fork.
Yes.
Give me some aluminum here.
The smalls, You gave that fork a perfect 5 again out of 5.
Dude, the smalls are so impressive. The reason, what did I give the Aion?
Aion gave a 4.9.
Okay, so it's tiny differences. I think the most impressive thing with the Rockshox fork, and I mentioned it when I was going down Hayes Creek Run, is the speed that you can keep, like say on Gummy Worm, right? Because on Gummy Worm, the speed that I was able to keep throughout some of the trails, and all that small feel, the feedback. It's
because you were describing it before, like you could feel everything, but it was absorbed really well. What I like about this one, I'm gonna say real quick, is it has a great progressive feel, and that's what I like. Where the small bump, so it's kind of like, I compare it like a Monroe Sensatrack shock. It's got that where you're not really pushing it hard. It's got that good small bump absorption, and as soon as you get into really gnarly hard stuff, it uses more, but it doesn't. It like slowly increases
doesn't do it
that
in a jarring
strength.
way. It progressively goes okay.
It gives you a lot of room before it gets real tight. Okay, the adjustability, and this is how the fork responds to changing air pressures as well as the lockout, the rebound, and you give it a 4.5 out of 5.
4.5 out of 5. This fork, again, for the price range, we have to keep that
keep it in mind.
Keep it in mind. The reason that it didn't get a perfect 5 or closer to a 5, but 4.5 is still a great number, is because I was a little bit disappointed with the rebound on this.
The rebound adjustment is not as good as some of the other forks.
It's what's weird, guys. It's kind of an all or nothing fork. I think guys that like a really fast rebound and a lot of pop back, I think would love this fork.
Yeah.
I think guys that want a really slow would probably be a fan of this fork. It's not super slow though. I was actually riding this bike on full rebound open, guys.
And that's what I had told you, that you were going to do a full rebound on this one.
Yeah, and halfway it was like I had to switch it up a little bit just because it was not slow enough for me.
Yeah, you like it to be have a little more suck.
Yeah, and that was with like 70 psi. I want that sucker to be pretty slow. And again, with 160 millimeters of travel, that's a lot of damn stanchion room. So why not have it slow? So we can use up a little bit here, use up a little bit more, and then, just kind of play with it a little bit and have a real good soft spot. The rebound was a big letdown. That's a big part of a fork. That's what I use the most.
The bigs, again, just like with the Aion, you did give it a perfect 10 on the bigs.
On the bigs?
And I mean, it has endless travel. So
endless travel is amazing. I know this fork's going to rate high. I don't know if it's going to beat the Suntour. It might blow the Suntour off the road. The thing with this fork and the Suntour is I don't know how a fork could be better. And I think that's huge. We've ridden on 30, 40, 50 something different forks, maybe somewhere up there. I don't know how a fork could be better. What possibly could a fork do better and be better at than this $500 marker below?
Yeah, we were saying why would you? And again, there's specialty reasons, but why would an everyday rider that's not riding anything more than a blue trail or even a really light black diamond, why, if you're not doing some kind of enduro or racing or anything like that, why would we need more fork than that?
I don't think you would. These guys that are doing that kind of riding and spending thousands of dollars, or say $15,000, $2,000 on the fork alone, I think they're crazy. I think they're out of their mind.
Well, I think if their riding ability matches that, but what I'm getting at is a lot of the kind of people that watch our channel and people that we know and meet up with at the trails, they're not the kind of people that need $2,000 forks. Next is the weight. Okay, this fork weighed 5.03 pounds versus the Aion that weighed 5.04. I mean, that's what, 1/100th of a pound or whatever. So it gives it a score of 4.97. Yeah, it basically weighs the same. It had no penalties because the lockout worked, everything worked on it. There was nothing wrong. All the measurements measured up. It was as advertised, if not better. And so it scored 0 penalties. So the total score of the Rockshox 35 Gold, which you don't have labels up here, so
I'll put it up on the screen.
Is okay. It's got to be 32.66.
It's got to be 32.66.
That's after the penalty.
After the penalty, 32.66 is what the Suntour got. Give it to me.
Rockshox 35 Gold scored 34.27.
Damn.
That's high. And so, but here's the kicker to that though. If the Aion, if you want to say, well, what is it without the penalty? It would be 34.66, so it would beat it by, just a tiny bit. 0.27 versus 0.66.
Damn. That's pretty...
They're pretty even.
That's pretty damn even, man. Yeah.
In our opinion, they're pretty even.
Yeah, pretty even.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
So all you guys have been asking, hey, which one, the Suntour, before this video is out, or the Rockshox? You guys knew what we were going to do.
Taste, whatever you want. I think you can't go wrong either way. I will say this though. In my opinion, I would say this: if you ride really big, nasty stuff, I don't know. I was about to say. Maybe the Rockshox, but then I'm thinking, well, hang on, because if you're having to do the climb up to it, I definitely think the Rockshox. Oh, excuse me, I was going to say the Aion on the Aion. Well, I don't know, because the both of them, I think they're both good. I don't want to have an opinion on.
They're amazing forks. I think really what it comes down to, I think more people are going to opt out for the Rockshox because the name brand. People see Rockshox on the.
Well, Suntour's got a good name, but you're right. It's not quite like Rockshox. Rockshox and Fox are the ones that everyone really thinks highly of.
But what do you think, Jimmy H? Do you agree or disagree? Are you happy with the outcome?
I think you can't go wrong either way. I think whatever one's cheaper at the time is the one I would go with.
Really, guys, if you're an everyday rider, or a weekend guy that goes out and enjoys hitting trails, and say you're pretty familiar, with the channel, and it's like, hey, I'm doing stuff that the Tick and Wolfman are doing. Like that's the stuff that I ride. Again, I don't see spending more than $500 on a fork.
Well. Yeah, but that's a different conversation.
That's a different conversation.
I'm saying that these two forks, whatever's the cheaper one at the time, good. I think you can't go wrong either one, unless there's one you really prefer the looks of.
All right, guys. Well, that was the long-awaited Rockshox 35 Gold real-time review and scoring. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the episode. Hopefully, you got some answers.
It was a long time in the making.
If we can, guys, we are going to put some affiliate links in the description below for both of these forks. Hopefully, as always, man, we appreciate you guys. Really do appreciate you guys watching these episodes and showing your boys some love. So everybody out there, if you ain't done it yet, hit that like button. All right, hit that subscribe button and part of the Wolftick Nation, and we will see you guys on the next
notifications
episode. Word has it we have another fork coming.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm ready for
one that we have never had before.
I'm waiting for a forky summer. We're gonna hit that fan back on. It's hot in here. Yeah.